Trump border czar Tom Homan in a war of words with Boston's mayor after ICE arrested nearly 400 migrants in Massachusetts. This is part of a multi-day operation involving several different agencies. Molly Lyon picks the story up. What happened, Molly, and where are we now on this side of it? Hello.
Good morning, Bill. Well, infuriated by the sanctuary city policies of Boston and many of the communities here in Massachusetts, Tom Homan, remember this promise, he promised to come to Boston. He revealed that he has now done it. That famous promise was to bring hell to this city, and he arrived last Tuesday, kicking off a 5-day operation, including multiple agencies, the FBI, ATF, U.S. Marshals, and the Drug Enforcement Agency.
In 5 days, we arrested 370 illegal aliens, the majority of them public safety threats, including murderers, child rapists, armed robbers, and TDA members. So, you know, the men and women of ICE made Boston and Massachusetts safer from the operation they did there last week. And we're going to go back again.
That is insane. That is insane. I remember when these people were sleeping in the airports, had no place to go, had no home. Kids running all throughout the airport because they had nowhere to bring their kids. Taking baths in the airports, hiding in hidden rooms in the airports. And now they're being deported back. Obviously not all of them, but a good amount. 300 people, 300 plus people have been taken up in Boston. I personally have not seen ICE in my cities, in my area. Have I been outside walking the streets every single day? Absolutely not. So that could be why, but apparently they have been putting in some serious work and they have arrested a lot of people in Boston. So if you don't think that this stuff is actually happening, it's real. It's the real deal.
He also relayed his frustrations on X, writing of numerous child rapists. Quote, ICE had to find and arrest these illegal alien rapists because Massachusetts and Boston are sanctuaries that refuse to cooperate with ICE. Homan slammed the Bay State's Democratic leadership, saying Governor Maura Healey and Boston Mayor Michelle Wu should be ashamed of supporting sanctuary policies. Healey promptly pushed back, highlighting her work as a former prosecutor, writing, Massachusetts is not a sanctuary state, and Massachusetts law enforcement regularly partners with federal agencies and federal law enforcement to keep people safe. In fact, just 2 weeks ago, the Massachusetts State Police were brought to the White House and recognized by President Trump and Attorney General Bondi for our partnership in arresting 24 members of a violent gang and fentanyl trafficking ring in Lawrence. And we also reached out to the mayor's office. The response from the city came from a spokesperson who questioned ICE actions. A spokesperson writing, we cannot confirm whether every individual was lawfully detained. We strongly urge ICE to release information on all the individuals detained in order to ensure transparency. Bill?
Okay, Molly, more to come on
That's
this.
what a lot of
Molly
people are
Lyon,
looking
thanks
for.
in Boston.
That's what a lot of people are looking for. They're looking for the transparency. You know, they want names. They want to make sure that, these people are actually all drug dealers or all gang members, all rapists, all actual criminals. They don't want normal people to get arrested. But I wouldn't be surprised if they are arresting normal immigrants as well. I'll just be honest with you. Anything is possible.
Dana's got more.
And Amy Carnevale is the Massachusetts Republican chair, and you've got your work cut out for you up there, and this issue might help. And here's another thing Maura Healey said to Tom Homan, that Massachusetts isn't just doing this public safety work. We are a model for it. We are ranked as one of the safest states in the country for a reason, and we are going to stay that way. Do you get the sense that that's how people of Boston or Massachusetts feel?
Thank you, Dana. The fact of the matter is our governor and our mayor of Boston are not cooperating with ICE on detainer requests. And the fact that Massachusetts is far safer today than it was just 1 week ago, thanks to President Trump and Tom Homan, means that our families in Massachusetts are safer. And our progressive governor and our progressive mayor of Boston have refused to cooperate on detainer requests. So for them to talk about the fact that they intend to cooperate is just nonsense and completely false. And Massachusetts residents see that every day on the streets of Boston.
The Boston mayor, Michelle Wu, say this for her. She sticks to her guns. This is what she said on Sunday.
This narrative that cities where more immigrants live are less safe is just simply not true. Our city is the safest major city in the country because we are safe for everyone, and also because we collaborate every day with the federal government. We're doing everything we can every day to keep people safe.
And yet you read some of the
Massachusetts
crimes
is a
that
safe
these
place. Don't get it twisted.
illegal immigrants were accused of, and it doesn't feel like that would be somebody that you want to leave in your city.
Not at all. These criminal illegal aliens were accused of murder, rape, trafficking of drugs. And in fact, there was 44 kilos of methamphetamine, 5 kilos of fentanyl, 1 kilo of cocaine, 3 firearms seized over the weekend, along with these raids of the illegal criminal migrants. And again, these are individuals who are posing public safety threats. Nearly 400 individuals were seized over the weekend.
Wow.
And we are grateful in Massachusetts, families and citizens, that the federal government has stepped in where our progressive governor and progressive mayor have refused to do so.
This was from January, but just to give everybody a sense, just to remind you, Bill.
That's the thing, though. They really have not refused. They just ain't working with ICE. They're not trying to work with ICE. They don't believe that everybody is an illegal immigrant, or everybody is a drug dealer. That's just their opinion. But are they stopping the federal government from doing what they got to do? No, they're not. Are they trying to get into the way? Are they trying to slow it down? Maybe they are trying to slow it down in some senses, but are they stopping drug bust? No, they're not really stopping drug bust, and they're not trying to prevent the police from doing their bust either. So, that part, it's a little iffy there, it's a little bit iffy. Obviously, they're not cooperating 100%, but they are cooperating to the point to where they could still have raids and get some of these criminals off the streets.
Illusion went on a ride-along in January with ICE. Watch here.
We are targeting very violent threats to our community.
I'm not going back to Haiti.
One of those threats is this illegal alien from Haiti. ICE says he's a gang member with 17 criminal convictions in recent years.
So, you feel me? Yo, Biden forever, bro. Thank Obama for everything that he did for me, bro.
Amy, the other thing is that there's a report out of Massachusetts that illegals charged with horrific crimes are being released with stunningly low bail requirements. Is that all just part and parcel of what Blue wants?
Yeah, in some cases, the bail requirements are set as low as $500 or released on their own recognizance. And these are for incidences of child rape. So these are judicial officials appointed by Democratic administrations who are beholden to the far progressive left. And again, we are so thankful, the residents of Massachusetts, for this federal action because we are seeing these criminals released on the streets and offending again and again without consequence.
Amy, do you see any Democrats or maybe more independent voters coming towards the Republican side that they might change their vote next time around?
Absolutely. So in fact, 64% in Massachusetts are actually unenrolled, and we are seeing more and more unenrolled voters become Republicans. We've seen an uptick in voter registration. We saw an increase in the vote for President Trump in last November. And so we are seeing residents enroll in the Republican Party and more wanting to run for office in our municipal elections this spring.
All right, Amy, thank you for joining us. You got your work.
It's true. There's been a shift. There is a shift. Obviously, Boston is a very, very blue state. And is it going to ever turn red? It'd have to be a miracle at this point, I'll be honest. I think that Boston is going to be blue for a very, very long time. But one thing I did notice with the election, there was a point that Trump did have some red counties in Boston, and they were red for a good amount of time. And then the blue sea just kicked into gear last minute and took everything out. But yeah, Boston is a safe city. It's not like New York. It's not like LA, it's not like Chicago, where you're hearing about, killings happening often, or, people not feeling safe in the streets. Obviously, nowhere is perfect, and you get your evil here and there, but for the most part, Boston is pretty safe for the families to live in. Nobody's fearing for your life in Boston. That's just the truth. So in that aspect, they have been doing a good job when it comes to crime. When it comes to crime here in Boston, they've been doing a good job there. And people respect the law. People respect the law in Boston. As for the other policies, the progressive policies, the far left Democratic policies, obviously, people in Boston, I think the majority of people in Boston are definitely not far left or far right. They're more in the middle, and they just want people to have their rights. They want people to be able to live and get along and, make their money and enjoy their lives. They're not trying to do anything unextraordinary. But some of them do, honestly. Some of them in Boston do. Like, there's different campuses in Boston that got like tampons in men's bathrooms and stuff. It's true. That stuff is actually happening in Boston. So anyways, let me know y'all thoughts about this down in the comments below. I'd really like to know y'all thoughts. Thank you guys for tuning in to another video. I appreciate y'all viewership. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button on your way out. And until next time, man, it's your boy Dgotsauce. Peace. Shout outs to today's sponsor, the Snacks.shop. They have a variety of snacks, and I'm telling you right now, guys, they smack. All right, this is my third bag. All right, third bag. Thank you for everything you guys sent to me from the Snacks.shop. I appreciate y'all care package. Today's sponsor, make sure you guys go check them out. They have some dope snacks, and I can't lie, man, it's bussin'. I'm gonna get some more of these, I promise you. These are the Korean chicken, like literally. Check out their website. Go cop something, man. Let them know that Dgotsauce sent you. And thank you again to today's sponsor, the Snacks.shop.